Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of another grooming podcast. I am Juan Rivera.
I'm Nathan Austin.
I'm Kat Graney.
And I'm Kathleen Austin.
And let's start today's episode with something a little fun. Well, I think it's going to be fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
We have this game called Let's Get Deep,
That's what she said.
and we're going to grab a couple cards and just answer them. Let's see how it goes.
All right, who's first?
All right.
Are we all answering each card?
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, we'll all answer each card.
Okay,
They're
what's
all
first?
for.
Okay.
It's for
Hit me.
all of us. Let's get deep with
this
this
is icebreaker.
icebreaker.
Let's Get Deep, Friends Edition. What was the first cell phone you ever had?
All right, me first.
You first.
Well, you're the
go.
oldest.
So I actually had a pager before a cell phone.
Oh.
I never had a pager.
Yeah, I had a
Cheers.
clear white pager with a silver chain.
Definitely aging yourself.
Oh
was
my
it clear?
The clear
Yeah,
white
clear.
pager. Yep, with the gold with the silver chain.
Oh.
My dad
Baller.
had
Baller.
beepers or beepers. They're called beepers here,
Everyone's
right?
like, he must be selling the druggers. You know?
Well, weren't you?
I was in elementary. Yes, actually, yes. Okay,
In
sorry.
elementary
Sadly, yes.
He's like, wait a second. In elementary school?
Yeah.
I actually started selling drugs in 6th grade.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting, right?
Oh, well, for me, that
So
was
terrible.
middle school. I don't.
Yeah.
I
But-
find that so bizarre. Just as a quick offshoot, that some elementary schools go to 5th grade and some go to 6th.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Mine went to 6th.
Mine was 5th.
Mine went to 6th. But my first cell phone was the Nokia Indestructo phone.
Yeah, same.
Brick.
The one that had Snake on it.
Yeah.
And
Snake.
I loved it, you know?
Yeah, well, that was also my first. You said you
Mine-
too,
yeah,
right?
my first
and
one.
I think mine was like the baby blue. It was the baby blue one.
Nice.
It was a phone and a weapon because it's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Well,
it
and
was
nothing
literally
broke that thing.
indestructible. I
Literally did not. Well, and remember texting back then too. So then it was just the
Oh, the
numbers. So you had to
T9.
like tick 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 tick
Hey,
tick.
Yeah,
I got
for each
fast at
letter,
that.
you had to hit, like, if you wanted to press, like, A or B, you'd press 1 twice.
Two.
Right.
Wasn't it 2?
Two. Yeah.
Two.
Or
You're
if you
right,
wanted to
two.
type C, you had to press
3.
it 3 times.
No.
Yeah,
Right?
it was
'Cause
wild.
each number had 3 letters on it.
Yeah.
But it made it really easy to text without looking because you could
Yeah.
like remember.
yeah,
Not
under
me,
under
dude.
the
It's
desk
like,
at
I didn't know
school.
what the hell was happening on that thing. I could barely read, let alone like all of a sudden they wanted me to decrypt this like cell phone.
Code.
Like,
Poor Nathan.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a cell phone until I had a job. So, because my parents,
back in my day.
But anyways, I had the little cheap pay-as-you-go phone, the track phone.
Oh, ghetto.
Yeah, but then you had to like load minutes onto it. But that was my first cell phone.
Well, I was in high school. I think I was in high school when I got mine. But I mean, I feel like once you're in high school, I mean,
Okay, how
our
am I
kids
the
might
homeless
even,
one and I still had a cell phone in elementary school?
you were selling
priorities.
drugs.
The
You know,
druggas.
your mom's priorities. They were there.
Yeah.
My first cool phone was the Razor though.
Oh
Same.
yeah.
No, you
The
know what?
Razor flip.
Okay,
Yeah,
talk
I
about-
had that one.
Talking about cool phones though, I had a Sidekick when it first came out.
Oh my God. I was so jealous of those kids with a sidekick.
I'd be like, oh, there's some bitches walking by, and I pull it out and be like, wow. Like, you hit the corner, and then it flips up like that.
okay,
Yeah,
what
that was hella
about
tight.
ringback tones?
Oh,
And you
Oh
had to
my
like
God.
record your own. Remember with the boom boxes?
I find it super funny when you call an elderly person. I'm being nice, we call an elderly person, and they still have a ringback tone playing.
Oh my God.
Do they still do those? The ring
I
backs?
get 'em every now and then.
Every once in a while, and it's always a song I would
Yeah, you guys
not
don't
expect.
call the pet parents when they're done. Huh? We still
we
like
just text them.
Sometimes we still call.
No,
and it'll
rarely
be like,
though.
I don't want no scrub. All of a sudden it'll come on. I'm like, they've had this as
Yeah.
their ringback tone for like 20 years.
Talk about 5th, 6th grade. No
Mm-hmm.
scrubs.
They probably can't figure out how to get it off.
Yeah, true. They
Or
still
forget.
have the same phone, the same Nokia.
It used to cost like $3 a month to have the ring back. I wonder if they're still paying for it.
Oh my God.
And
What's
what
$3 a month
inflation,
for
yeah.
20 years?
I don't know.
That's math.
$36 a year,
Math.
and then 20 years. What is that? $720.
That's impressive.
Math.
That's very impressive.
I did
I
not
didn't even
become a
attempt
dog. Yeah, I didn't become a dog groomer.
I didn't even
My math
attempt to
skills-
do it. I'm all, yes, Juan,
I'm
that is
like,
correct.
calculator.
That's probably wrong, actually. Maybe it's 7,000. Does it matter? Does it matter?
It doesn't
We're not
matter.
paying it.
The
But
only
then, yeah.
word I knew how to type on my phone actually was
720.
boobs.
Boobs,
Or
yeah.
on the
Flip
pager.
it upside down.
On the pager, you'd be like 808008. Boobies, you know? Maybe that
Juan
was
was
just me.
like,
Hello.
no.
No.
Juan was like, penis.
Can you do
not-
penis? Yeah, I think penis was one, right? Could you do penis?
With the graphing calculator, yeah.
With a graphing
Yeah, you could do anything with the graphing calculator. TI-83 plus. Okay.
What do they call it? Is like the Texas Dynamics or something?
Instruments, Texas Instruments.
Yeah,
Texas
Texas.
Instruments.
Okay, do you want to draw another card?
Yes. Okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on from that. Okay. Well, do we want to do another icebreaker or do we want to go deeper?
Let's go
deeper.
Let's go deeper. Okay. Well, let's see. There's two we can do.
Let's do both.
Okay. Well, so do you initiate plans or wait for people to reach out to you, and why?
What are plans?
What are plans? No.
Plans are doing whatever your wife says.
true.
Yes.
That is plans.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there it goes right there. No is the answer for me.
I feel like I do a lot of the like, yeah, let's hang out. I want to hang out. And then like it sometimes fizzles out. Like I have people that happens with because like maybe they don't put anything in or whatever. But like if
I initiate.
Yeah,
If
if
I
you
want to go
don't-
hang out, I'm going to tell you, like, let's go hang out.
yes,
I think
exactly.
friend groups need that. You
Yeah.
need a balance, right? If everybody is an initiator, they would have hella fun actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If everybody in a friends group was all initiators, they'd be doing
Yeah.
it.
But that's my point, right? Is like I have other people like that where I'm like, yeah, let's hang out. And then they say the same thing and then nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
But then like with us, we're like, yeah, let's hang out. And then we're like, okay, so what date?
Yeah.
What time?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Where
We
are
literally
we gonna
compare
meet?
calendars.
Yeah. And so like if you don't initiate, nothing's going to happen.
Let's hang out and record a podcast.
Yeah. And then that's literally at last year we met up and we were like, let's talk about it. Are we interested in this?
Yeah.
Would this be something fun? What would we talk about? Would it be all of us? Would we meet up? And you know what I mean? And then we were like, okay, well then when will we meet again to go over it again?
Yeah.
And then lots
Yeah,
of
so
meetings,
when
lots
we
and lots
meet
of
up,
meetings.
I don't know if like listeners or viewers have any people like this is totally strange to me, but Katie and Juan will pull out calendars, like literally written out calendars and then be comparing notes and writing dates. And to me, that's like totally no.
Okay, to be fair, having an actual calendar is new for me, but we're just so busy now that I have to keep a calendar. But before I would just like recall, they'd be like, "Oh, are you available on this day?" And then I'd be like,
Maybe.
I'd be like, "I don't think I have anything
I'll let you
else
know the day
planned."
of.
Yeah.
Well, there's times where I make plans and then I fucking regret it.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
like, oh, I wish I would have said no. I wasn't in too good of a mood when I said yes.
So that is
All
me.
the time.
That is me. I tend to make plans. I'll start the plan,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like, do I want to do that?
But I will say though, a lot of times when that happens, if I push through and force myself to go, I'm glad that I did.
True.
I will
Yeah.
often be like, I don't want to get off of work and go do this thing. I'm going to have to drive an hour. I don't want to do it. And then like once I get there and I'm like in it, I'm like, thank God I did this because it was hella fun. And while I could have gone home and slept and that would have also been fun to have a little nappy, I'm having a good time and making memories.
No, napping is not like fun.
Yes,
It's just
it
like
is.
You again with the nap hate, man.
Yeah, we
Naps.
already discussed naps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
but
know
do you
your
ever just
opinion.
wake up and be like, wow, that was a good time? Like,
Yes,
no.
absolutely,
Yes.
I do.
No, you're right. I don't.
You're like, that was
I do.
satisfying. I could say like satisfying, but fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it takes me like another like a whole hour to wake up again from the nap.
Okay.
Unless
so-
you can lucid dream, then I would think,
Well, okay, number one, I can lucid dream, but I also, when you have children, there's no like, suddenly somebody's like slapping you in the face and you're like, I'm awake.
Parental abuse.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna slap your mother in the face.
yeah.
Here's a 20.
I definitely like to make plans, especially like vacation plans. Even though I
Oh
can't
my
afford
God,
most
yes.
vacations, I'm like, Katie, let's go do this. Katie, let's go do this. And then I was like, can't afford that.
But then
It's
we
nice
do
to
it
dream.
anyway.
We do it anyway.
But then
Weren't
we do it
planning-
anyways.
Weren't we planning like a group Disneyland trip?
We were.
The five
Yeah.
of us? We should
should
do that.
Yeah, we
Spring
should.
break's coming.
Well, so like we go on a lot of vacations together. So now you guys just need to start joining us on
Yeah,
all of
because
our fun vacations.
Vacations,
Ronnie's like,
no, vacations aren't fun. You
But
always
Disneyland.
regret-
Disneyland's fun, right?
But also we can have some kid vacations and some non-kid vacations.
Yeah.
Some party vacations. Although Juan said he's not coming with us to EDC this year, and I'm disappointed.
I like how I've been going 5 years in a row, and the year I decide not to, you guys are going to go.
you said
But
that
to be
before,
honest-
though. You
but-
were
okay.
like,
I did.
I'm not going the next year, and then you went the next year anyway.
True.
So I just figured
True.
that was going to keep happening.
So, but the EDC in my mind, that's happening in my mind, you might not want to be there.
Why? That sounds fun. But now I'm intrigued. Maybe I'll go. Ronnie, can I go to EDC this year? We'll see.
Ronnie.
My
He's like,
like the way
"We're
I
not
envision
looking
it
at
going
you."
is we're gonna be like, I don't know, like, never mind.
EDC, for people that don't know, EDC is it stands for Electric Daisy Carnival, and it's an EDM festival in Vegas. It's from like 6. Well, I think it's starting it earlier now. I think it's like 5 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. So it's all night, and it's really fun.
And
I don't
go
know.
now.
I don't
and
know
me
if
and
I'll be
Katie
able
got
to
a
stay
tent.
awake.
We got a private tent, so it's gonna be
It's gonna be
going
hot.
down.
I
It's
am
gonna
like,
be
I'm
hot.
very worried I won't be able to stay awake till 5 in the morning.
But I
You
heard
will.
there's a
You will.
pool, right? You could just hang out in the pool. Like I bet the
And
first
drown.
day the pool's
Okay,
out.
so it's packed. There's a line, like
Oh.
a super long line, and the pool goes like maybe to your knee if you're standing in it.
Well,
Can you
that's
lay
good
in
though
it?
because you
Well,
don't
no,
want to
they don't.
drown.
They won't
You
let-
don't
they won't
want
let
to
you lay in it.
drown in it. Oh,
They
you
won't
don't
let you
lay in
lay in
it?
it?
So what
No,
do you
it's like
do?
it's
You
a
just
standing
walk in
pool.
it?
It's probably
Oh.
50% fluids, anyways.
Yeah.
by the
Well, no,
time-
but it only goes up to your knees, so then people would notice if you're peeing in it.
Well, maybe you sit on the edge and.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
feel like it would be
everybody
really
You just
pees in the
pop the
pool.
bubble. You just pop the bubble.
There's chlorine in it.
Yeah.
Disinfection.
Nathan is
I am not a pool peer.
Nathan
I'm
is
not. I will not
not
pee
a
in the
pool
pool.
peer. He is a
I think it's
very
disgusting.
firm. You don't pee in the pool guy.
I'm like, if you're around me and you're about to pee in the pool, just don't tell me because. So somebody told me I was watching this
Warm
thing
spot.
that if you smell chlorine, it's not because there's too much chlorine. It's because the chlorine's reacting
Yeah,
with
but
the
we
urine.
asked somebody else and they said that's not true. We asked because Tone said that wasn't true.
Did you guys, when you guys were growing up, they're like, oh, if you pee, it's going to turn
Yes.
purple around
Yeah.
you, and everyone's
I
going to
still
know.
think about that
no.
to this day.
When I was a kid, my grandparents had a pool, and they had a sign right above the pool on the fence that said, "Welcome to my ool." Notice there's no pee in it. Let's keep it that way.
Right? Yes.
And it instilled the ool.
Speaking of signs outside of pools, have you seen the signs that say, like, if you've had diarrhea in the last
Yeah.
2 weeks, you cannot
Yes.
come in?
I'm like, I'll never be able to swim. What the hell?
Mexican food. I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
I'll never go swimming ever.
We
Yeah.
eat
That's
so
exactly
much
what I think
spicy
is-
food.
I don't think, correct
Does
me if I'm wrong,
everybody
but I don't
have-
think anybody goes a whole 2 weeks without a little diarrhea, right?
Yeah, like what are we considering diarrhea? Is it
Yeah.
like just full on liquid shit or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is it just soft? Like what are we considering diarrhea here?
Like,
or
it's
is
not-
it when your tummy hurts? Because my tummy hurts all the time. I'm a part of the tummy hurt tribe.
Yeah.
We started
Yeah.
drinking those tiny yogurts.
Yeah, we started drinking those
Activia?
tiny. No,
Yeah.
not Activia.
Activia.
The
I think they're like
yeah,
a Mexican yogurt. I don't know. Like you buy them
The
at Costco.
Yakults. The Yakults.
yeah.
Yeah.
However you freaking say it.
Yakult.
Yakult.
Yeah, we've been.
Oh,
it's
Yeah, we
Japanese.
drink one
Oh,
of
so it's
those
the good
every
shit.
day for our tum tums.
Does it help? I don't know.
I don't know.
It kind of grosses me out when
You
they're
guys
like,
are
it's
old.
good bacteria. I'm, "Ugh, I want to drink bacteria. I mean, I know it's there everywhere.
But I don't
it's
wanna
everywhere.
think
but I
about
don't
it.
think about drinking it.
Yeah, they are really yummy. So
I
we
do like
drink one
Yoo-hoos,
every
though.
day.
Yoo-hoos are good. No bacteria in them.
A you.
I mean, I'm sure there are.
So when I opened my
Yogurt to
fridge,
Yoo-hoo.
when I opened your fridge and seen a Yoo-hoo, I was like, "What the fuck?" You know, like I have not seen one of these things in the last
Since I was a child.
Yes, and it like kind of like shook me a little, you know.
Well, Ronnie does love his
Transported
individual wrap snacks. So
Right.
we get all the little aesthetics, you know?
Yeah, and you guys
Aesthetics.
got the pouches too, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys got all the best snacks.
All
Yeah.
the best.
Wow.
They have the best of everything.
Yeah.
Can you tell I eat a lot of
He
snacks?
is the best snack. See, though, you went like this, and I thought you were saying I'm the snack, and I
No.
was like,
Oh, yeah, I am. Yes,
was
I
like,
am the
yes,
snack.
all right,
I am the
yeah.
snack.
I was like, go you, you know,
I love me snacks too.
love yourself.
I do love myself.
I know exactly. That's why I thought you were saying like, yeah, I'm the ultimate
I
snack.
don't even
That's why I
remember
have
what
all
the
the
question was.
snacks.
What was the question?
Let's.
What was the question?
It doesn't matter.
It was a plan. We were still talking about the plans. I don't know how we got here.
So, what celebrity crushes did you have growing up?
So I liked Laura Croft.
Okay, with
That's why I'm like the Cybertruck.
the
There's a lot of correlation there.
Oh, the pointiness.
pointy
Yeah.
boobs, the
Yeah.
pointy boobies.
Isn't it weird how animated things are hot?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So
yes.
this is very. No, I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind. Never mind.
Takes it back. We're not going to go that deep in this episode. This was just an icebreaker, but I feel like it was going to take us deep.
there.
Okay, there was a lot of them though. You know, like I was a very active-minded young man. You know.
As a typical boy would
Yeah,
be.
but my mom we'd watch Friends, and all the girls on there were like smoking. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I remember you used to tell me Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek is, oh God.
Yeah.
So
Some Hike is
on that
beautiful.
movie, on the movie Dusk Till Dawn, you know when she's walking and she puts her foot on that guy's on what's his name's face?
Is that why you're a feet guy?
Maybe it
that's
could be because I
dark.
remember it super vividly.
So
Okay,
Quentin Tarantino was a director,
Quentin
and
Tarantino,
he's
duh.
the one that he casted
He has
himself.
a feet thing, huh?
And, yeah, he has a foot thing. Every movie, it's like remember in Kill Bill when she's like moving her toes. I'm sure he
Yeah.
was going off on that.
Yeah.
But he
Oh my
casted
God.
himself in that role so he could drink the whatever was coming down her leg off of her foot. So that's why he did
Oh my
it.
God.
He has a foot thing.
A genius.
Nathan says genius. I say creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to think she was like totally beautiful. And then as an adult, I really liked Emma Stone. I thought she was like super beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then,
but it was
Her vo- her voice is
Does it
sexy,
remind
too.
you of Katie?
yeah, it reminded me a lot of Katie.
Yeah. You guys.
So I felt like it was okay, you know. Like,
Can you talk like? Well, that was not her voice, but she has like a
I was
raspier
like, whoa,
voice.
all right.
But she already has a unique voice.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh
Oh,
my
thank
God.
you. Well, I feel like I had like a very typical, like I loved Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was
Titanic,
so.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh
What do you
my
guys-
God.
Or what's eating Gilbert
Titanic.
Grape?
But
No,
what do you
no,
guys think about
Titanic.
him? Like, but now like Gen Z, like he's kind of like creepo now.
I know.
he
I'm
is.
so sad about it because I was so in love with him when I was a little girl. I remember watching him in Titanic and like I was head over heels. The internet was really brand new, like at that time.
But-
and he was like one of the first, like I was playing online one day. And I mean, like it was like, you couldn't barely look things up. And I was like,
Titanic came out when I was in 5th grade.
Leonardo DiCaprio naked. It didn't actually show me anything. It was very disappointing.
Well, I had a
You
whole
should Google that now. A
Leonardo-
lot
yeah.
comes out.
The
Things I
internet has
don't want to see
changed.
now.
I had a whole Leonardo DiCaprio little book,
Oh my God.
like about his life, and
Oh,
his
I-
early days.
But
and
did you
was
make
like-
it or did you buy it?
I bought it.
See, I printed pictures out of him
I
from
only
my
bought a
printer. It was not.
out of him.
It was not like picture papers. It was literally just like regular paper of young Leo. Totally in love. Also, Orlando Bloom.
I was
Super
gonna say
in love with
Orlando.
him.
Was it like
Is it because
Who
of
did it?
Pirates?
In
'Cause of
Pirates,
of
and
the
in
Caribbean?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who was he in Lord of the? Oh, Legolas.
Legolas.
I haven't even watched it, and I know he has little
Nathan.
ears.
Yeah.
That was where my love of elves started. Like absolutely my fantasy.
Okay, so but
like,
who's your favorite from Lord of the Rings now?
It's tough because I still love him, like elf crush, you know, hot. But Aragorn is like clearly also really hot. But when I was young,
What's his real life name?
oh fuck, I don't remember what his
it's
name.
like a
Is it one of the
Morrison-
Hobbits?
Morrison-
No.
No.
He was
He's the king.
He was the king, the
He's the
human
Strider.
king.
Strider, yes. Black hair, curly.
Fuck. But I don't remember. But like when I was younger, he was too old and scruffy for
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
And now?
now that I'm an adult, I'm like hot.
Yeah.
And also he's in love with the elf, right? The elf woman. And
Eowyn?
yeah. See, it's making me look like I'm not a fan right now because I can't remember names very well. But we're actually like super
His
big
name's
fans.
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, there you
okay,
go.
I know who that
Vigo-
is. He is
Virgo,
attractive.
Vigo.
Yeah, something like that. But
I'm
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names, but we're actually super fans. So I'm just really, really bad with names.
so I also was Orlando Bloom. You know, the Lord of the Rings did it for me. But Pirates also did it for me. But now as I get older, I'm into the scruffy, rugged.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that nothing makes me feel more like older than when I watch things that I did when I was a kid and I didn't find like certain characters attractive because they were older. And now that I rewatch them, I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss you all this time? Hot. But,
Yeah.
Well, I
you know,
remember
like
you-
they were too old when I was younger.
Okay, so we watched Romeo and Juliet, the redo one, where they have the gun, or they had guns
With
for
Leonardo
swords.
DiCaprio.
or
Leo, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Was that
one.
watching it recently? What do you think about Leo then?
He just looks like such a baby now.
What about Titanic?
A baby, yeah.
Well, you know, the newer generation, the way they speak about Leo, it's kind of true though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
He's gross.
I was
now.
talking to our one of our not mentors,
Our apprentices.
our apprentices, and he's like, yeah, every time his girlfriend turns 25, he like replaces her, and I'm like, yeah, right. And then he's showing me, and I'm like, yes,
Well,
a little
also,
creepy.
like age gaps are one thing, but I do feel like now that I'm in my 30s, right? I do feel like when I talk to somebody who's really young, like 18, 19, 20, it is just different. Their life experiences are such less, you know, and they haven't done so many things. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're just young, right? But I do notice like a big difference in maturity. For the most part, everybody's different. Everybody's unique. So nobody take offense.
I feel young until I hang out with young people.
Yes.
Then I'm like, oh no, I'm old.
And so
I'm way too old.
like when I see somebody who's like 45 dating like a 20-year-old, I'm like, there's like a huge difference, I feel like, in...
Well, they were 25 when they were born.
I could be wrong.
Could be their
but yeah, it just seems a little odd.
Well, then what about your? I mean, going back to the crushes though, right? Like, what about you?
One more that I don't want to forget about, and I don't know if you thought he was attractive.
Okay, I'll let you know.
But we talked about this recently. The Casper movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Devon?
Oh, he knows his name.
Yeah.
When he turned into a real boy and they're like showing you from
Like he's
behind, and I
Pinocchio.
was like, what's he gonna look like? His back looks cute. And then he turns around and you're like, that was like definitely one of my very that was
Okay,
definitely one of my
okay, now
very
that you're
first
going back that
crushes.
far, I
So
got 3 more.
cute.
Of course,
So
you do.
cute.
I got 3 more. One was the girl from the memory. What was her name?
You guys are horrible with names.
We're really bad with names.
Well, one
I
was
know,
from
he
the
pulled
Goofy
up.
movie. The girl from the Goofy movie.
I thought we weren't getting into cartoons.
It's too late now. The girl from the Goofy movie, Fox. And,
Literally.
Was she a fox?
I don't know.
Are they a dog?
And then
Dog? Yeah.
the girl from Wonder Years.
She
Was. It sounds fucking weird saying it now, but she was beautiful, right?
Yeah, well, we were kids.
And
Yeah, we were
then,
kids.
And then my absolute favorite, I can't believe I forgot her, was from Boy Meets World.
Oh,
Topanga.
Topanga.
She was, oh my God. I thought I was like in love with her for a while.
Same.
Well, that Sean too.
Yeah, Sean.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Jasmine from Aladdin. My freaking cousins tortured me until I was in junior high because they asked me who I'm going to marry when I was in elementary school. And I'm like, I'm going to marry Jasmine. And they proceeded to taunt me for 7 years over this. And, they had me
You know what?
crying about it because they'd be like, no, you're not. And I'm like, oh, I'll find her in real life and I'll marry her. And I don't know
You
how old I
didn't.
was, but I was really adamant that I was going to marry
You
her.
didn't.
And then
No.
you
I found an Ariel.
Yeah.
Ariel's hot.
You know, so
Ariel's hot too. They did the feet thing in the cartoon. Remember when she like first has feet? God, I think in
all
the
comes down to the
'90s they were
feet.
just like programming me. Honestly,
But
All
you know,
right,
on the cartoon thing, why is it like when Beast turns into a human, he's ugly?
Oh, have you seen all
Why
those
are all the
like memes
princesses
lately?
pretty?
Because I thought I was the only one who was disappointed.
But
With
no,
what?
he turns ugly.
When Beast turns into a real prince again, it's a little
like-
disappointing. Like, why?
I don't
he
even
had
remember what he
such
looks
dark fur.
exactly.
Like he had such dark fur and like these really dark eyes and stuff, and then they're like blonde and like he just looked very
And
feminine.
special.
He looked really feminine. And I
And
was
his
like,
eyes were really far apart.
they were, yeah, I don't know. I was a
Looked
little
alien,
disappointed. I agree because although, I mean, that's like a whole nother Stockholm thing we could talk about another time. But
Yeah, that's definitely
well, maybe they
a hot
did.
take.
Maybe
that
they
I-
didn't want
little-
you to like him. Maybe that was the point.
that was a little programming for us, I feel like.
I honestly think Gaston was the hero in that movie.
Okay, that's a topic for another time. In a way, we've discussed this in.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Look there.
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a freaking deer in the headlights.
It was a little like.
Wait, we just got a couple, just for a couple moments, right? A man, they're at this village.
You're explaining Gaston. Okay.
Dad gets abducted by monster. She goes and replaces him. Now she's abducted by him, being imprisoned, and Gaston goes to kill the monster and free them because the dad was asking for help.
But Belle was already at home showing everybody, and she was already out. He was just like, yeah, you're home, but I want to kill him anyway.
Because he knew, like, hey, you've been hypnotized already by this literal monster.
Yeah, that's true. I would think.
Belle was jealous, or Gaston was jealous of Belle because she wanted the beast and not him because he didn't want him.
For sure.
He was pushing him off. So
For-
this is
I do see where you're coming from, though.
I do.
I see both
I
sides.
do agree with that, but then like Stockholm is a real thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was in prison for so long, she fell in love with her captor, and she thinks he's like totally like a good guy.
He was
but
fucking
the
mean.
reason he turned into the beast was because he was a terrible person.
That's true.
But everybody can change, right?
And
Everybody can change.
the witch was like, "Oh, good job, you fell in love. Now everything back to normal.
Yeah.
You learned no lesson, right?" Like,
But also just in the nick of time.
Just in the
Yeah.
nick of time.
Right before the last pedal.
Yeah. It's an interesting thought for sure. I don't think Gaston's like a good guy, but I don't necessarily think he's the villain we all make him out to be.
You know, I don't analyze Disney movies this much. Like you just
know,
watch it and
we
you
talk
just
about a
enjoy
lot
it.
when
of
we're at
things.
Disneyland, I like to see Gaston. I look at Gaston and I go, "Gaston, you're the real hero." And every time, I swear, every time he looks at me and goes, and points at me like, "Yeah, you know." I'm like, "Thanks, Gaston. I see you, Gaston."
That's funny.
Well, you notice the Beast isn't represented at Disneyland. He's not
No?
a character or anything in the
Oh wow.
like.
Even pre-transformation or as the Beast? No.
Neither. You never see him. You see
Maybe
the
because he's too
princesses.
scary.
Maybe that might be it, or maybe it's
They're worried
because
about
they're
scaring the
worried
little
about.
kids. This is
The
worried
true
about
story.
Stockholm.
Okay, so my crushes.
Yeah, Juan. To you.
So I grew up super Mexican, and I didn't really know like Anglo or American culture until I was in like 5th, 6th grade. But growing up, Salma Hayek, because she was
Nice.
Mexican, so she was always
Selena?
all over TV.
Gorgeous.
Selena
Right on.
was beautiful.
Right on.
And then Sofia Vergara, before she became famous over
yeah.
here, she was a Latin TV star, and I had her calendars on my wall, and she convinced me,
pretty.
I was like, wait, I'm straight. Maybe I'm bi. And then Topanga on top of that, I was like, do I love them and do I think they're hot or do I want to be them because they're so
Right.
sexy and they have beautiful hair and
So
nice bodies.
confident too.
Yeah.
So confident.
And then once I started knowing like American culture and all that stuff, that's what around 5th, 6th grade, NSYNC and JC Chazé was like my ultimate.
I was a
JC?
JC.
I was a JT girl, Justin Timberlake.
Well,
I was all about that ramen hair,
I was
you
like the
know?
ramen hair. That's what put me
All
off.
about that ramen. I was a basic bitch. Okay?
Were you NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
In sync, absolutely.
NSYNC, absolutely, yeah.
Bye,
They were
bye,
better
bye.
performers.
They were better performers.
So I was in elementary school at that time, so I automatically hated all of them.
Because I was
Yeah.
gay. If you
Yeah,
liked it,
I'm
it was
like,
gay.
I'm definitely like every time someone would be like singing the song, I'm like, "You gay."
Yeah.
Or, you know, like that was definitely me in elementary school or when I was younger. I was like, if anything did anything that remotely I thought was lame, I'd be like, "You gay."
In 5th grade, we had a student of the week, and you would fill out a thing with all your favorite stuff, and it would be up on a poster on the wall. And my favorite song was "Wanna Be" by Spice Girls, and
Spice
literally
Girls.
everybody was like, "You're gay. That's gay. You can't like girl groups. That's gay." So I made the teacher pull down the poster and change it to something else. I forgot what I changed it to, and then she didn't even remake the poster. She just like scratched it out and put
Oh
something.
my
It's like everyone still sees that I'm gay.
I had
Everybody
to,
still knows.
I had to
Everybody still
learn how
knows.
to draw Stussy. Otherwise, I would have been gay. You know what I mean?
What's Stussy?
You know, it's like a
The
S.
S.
Oh, the gangster.
Like if I
S?
didn't learn how to draw the
it,
Stussy, I would have been
Nathan.
gay.
Draw
Yeah.
it for everybody.
Okay, here,
for
I'll
anybody
break it
who's
down real quick.
watching
Look,
that
look.
doesn't know.
Everyone's
If you do 3
Yeah.
lines straight down from and then right underneath it, you do another 3 lines straight down, and then you connect them. Like
Quickly.
Boom, Stussy. See? I'm not gay.
You are a gangster.
You're a gangster.
You are a
was.
gangster.
When I learned, I was like, "Oh my god, am I tagging? Am I tagging?"
I used to do it too. I got too excited.
What
there.
about when you learn? I remember like when I learned to do like bubble letters, and I thought it was so
Oh, yeah,
badass.
so cool.
I was like, you know,
And the
like draw my name in like bubble letters.
Did you
And
draw the
shading.
little reflection with the little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought it was so
And
cool.
the ones with
I want to be
shade.
young again.
Yeah.
We're actually rewatching Boy Meets World with the kids, and they love it.
We were, yeah.
So do you remember the episode when Corey kissed another girl?
That was such
So
an
when
episode.
it happened, I was looking at my son Owen, and he was fucking livid. He's like, "Corey, how could you do that?
Yeah.
You just made it." And I remember thinking the same thing when I was a kid. So he's 10, right? And I thought like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, we're like, so never do that, Owen.
Well, then I
Okay,
think it was an-
but I think it's interesting. All your crushes were like girls other than
Yeah.
NSYNC. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying.
In the
I don't know
beginning,
if it
yeah.
was because I found them so like beautiful. Oh, they're girls. Like I'm gonna them or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if it was just like they're just so beautiful. Like I
Yeah.
want to be them.
Well, as a woman,
Yeah.
I find women very beautiful. There's plenty of women I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you're so pretty.
Like I definitely.
I don't want to sleep with you, but you're
Well, do you
beautiful.
remember? do
I
you remember
agree.
the-
I'm like so. I'm very much straight. I like my men, but
Strictly
I find
dickly.
I like yes. But I do agree with you. I mean, there's like so many women that I'm like, God damn, that woman's fucking beautiful. Like, geez, Louise. If
Yeah,
I was
like-
a dude,
And I love that
smash.
girls can like share their
Right.
opinions about that. When guys are like, because guys can tell if other guys are attractive or if they're handsome. You know, you can
Right.
tell.
Yeah.
But if you say anything, you're gay.
Yeah. Well, now
I think
Nathan's
it's
pretty
better
good at
now.
that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Nathan's
it's good.
pretty
Yeah.
good at that. Because I'll be like, look at this, you know, and I'll be like, this guy's hot. And he's like, yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Well, when you're a kid, right, that like calling everything gay, that shit was so serious. Like if like it really
Labeled.
like fucking put it in you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I say anything positive about another man, like I'm sucking dick
Which
or something.
sucks.
Or
Yeah.
the ones where it's like, look at your hands, and if you looked like this, you were gay. But if you looked like this, you were straight.
Yeah,
Did
or
you?
if your
Which
ear
is
was
so
pierced, if you
weird.
pierced your left ear instead of your right, you were gay. Like everything.
All these made up rules were so weird. I mean,
but
like,
I followed them religiously.
Women didn't.
Me
I
too.
feel
I
like
was such
we
a closet
didn't.
case. I was like, I'm straight. I'm straight.
It was the left ear. If the left ear was
Oh.
pierced, you weren't gay. If you had both or the right ear.
I feel
The
bad
right
for
ear's
guys
gay?
because like I don't
I have more
don't think we
piercings in my
had
right ear than
anything
my
like
left.
that for girls. I don't think we had anything. So like I didn't even pay attention. I don't even think I paid attention to guys. So I would have never even noticed that you put Spice Girls up. I would have just been like, I like Spice Girls too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you would
probably-
have
you know
joined
what,
in
though?
when everyone's making fun.
No, you know what? You know what probably would have happened is I probably would have had a crush on you because I can't even tell you how many freaking gay guys I had crushes on when I was
Yeah.
younger, only to realize as an adult, like, oh, they were gay.
Yeah.
Makes
Same.
sense why they didn't like me, why no men liked
Same.
me, because they were all gay.
Yeah.
Same.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
we were. We were.
Because you guys were always my friends.
Yeah, because you're always cool.
We're fun. We're more fun.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, if you're too fun, you're gay. Obviously. They're like, look
That
at
was
that
a
guy
rule
over
we
there. He's
didn't
talking
know.
to a girl. He's gay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a rule we didn't know about. Well, yeah, because we would like go to school dances, right? And most of the guys would be too scared to dance with the girls, but like because you were attracted to them. So then the gay
if-
guys weren't
in
attracted
sixth
to the
grade
girls,
dance-
so you dance with us.
Literally in sixth grade dance, if there was boys dancing, I'd go look at my friends and be like,
They're
look
gay.
at them over there, hella gay.
I used to play tetherball during recess, and I switched to handball because I was gay if I played tetherball, but if I played handball, I wasn't.
I feel like every school had its own rules.
Yeah.
You know, like its own different set of rules.
I am curious
Stupid.
to know if there's like those type of labels now.
I don't think so.
Like,
I'll ask your kids.
I don't. Well, they never mention anything like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Our kids now, like, it's so different now because there's several kids at school that dress however they want, you know, and don't follow like a binary thing.
Yeah.
And they haven't asked a single thing about it. They don't bring it up. Like it's not even.
I don't even think it's on their
It's
radar.
not even on their radar because I don't. Well, we're obviously not telling them about it, right? We're not like, oh, this is that. This we just kind of let them be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just kids, so we just let them.
They're just so much like they don't care. I mean,
Yeah, they
about
just
that, you
don't
know?
care. I
And
think
that's
a
so
big
much
part
better.
of the reason when we were younger that the kids were so concerned with like you looking gay wasn't because that was something you guys thought up, but probably your dads or the people in your lives were like brought up those things like, oh well, you can't. I mean, like now, right? It's like way
On
more
TV too.
way
TV.
more on TV.
Yeah.
You're right. TV is not like that anymore. But like wearing nail polish, right? Like now it's like way more acceptable for guys to go out with nail polish where like you know what I mean? So like our kids never even think about it. It's just like nail polish, whatever. It's not girl nail polish, it's just nail polish. But I think back when we were younger, right? It would be like your dads would be like, you can't wear nail polish, you're a boy.
Well, now they have makeup for men. It's called War Paint. That brand, War Paint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Because
Well,
Revlon is gay. If you
Yeah.
use Revlon, you're
Well, of
wrong.
course, like the only way
war
they could
paint.
the only way they could fucking advertise makeup for men is putting war in front of it.
War
does
Paint.
it have
It's
Well,
not
it's
makeup, it's
camo?
war paint. You
It's-
get
I
to
think it's all
kill
black.
people with this
I mean,
on.
that leads us to a whole nother like topic of conversation, right? Because I feel like in general, like men's stuff is always like that. Like when we go to like pick up soap for Nathan, it's always got to have like these hyper masculine names. And Nathan's always like, I just want soap, you know? Like, I just want soap. Does it have to be like this men's soap that's like, I don't even know, Desert Island?
Like
'cause
I don't
I'm
want to
so
smell
tough.
like smell like a dead tree.
Yeah.
Or actually maybe I do. That shit does smell
Yeah.
pretty good.
It does. Men's stuff does smell wonderful. I love men's like colognes and deodorants and stuff, but like it always just has to have like hyper masculine, and it's got to be, you know, like
Axe.
When you
And
pick it up
same-
and you're like, X, that's definitely not gay.
yeah, like it's like really funny, you know.
Yeah.
Like why? But then I feel like it's not as bad for girls, but we do have, I mean, they sell girls' tools that's like pink, right? You know, like, I'm like, just give me a tool. Good God, I don't need a pink fucking hammer.
And it's more expensive.
And it's more expensive. So dumb.
Girl
Ay,
tax.
ay, ay. Although, maybe I do want a pink hammer. I do like pink.
I have a pink hammer.
You two lay this hammer down. It's hammer time. No.
But it's never, I feel like it's not as good of a, it's not high quality hammer, right? It's just like,
like cheapy.
cheap
just
pink
'cause-
That's
hammer.
like
And
the
I'm like,
fastest way to kill the mood ever. You show up, it's hammer time.
oh my God.
Get out of here. Leave my room.
Anyways.
What are we
today's
talking
episode?
about
Yeah.
today? Oh, today we are talking about competitions,
Woo!
right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's what your card says.
Yeah. I was like, I'm brain farting right now. I'm like, did we do an entrance? Yeah, we did.
Hi.
We
yeah.
did. I think it's been a while. It's
Hello.
been a while. So, yeah.
And it's been 40 minutes.
40?
Oh my God. Whoops.
Really? That last one went on a long tangent.
Oh,
That
damn.
celebrity one was a tangent. Okay, well, let's talk about competition.
This episode will just be a little longer.
All right,
Okay.
well,
I think
Because we're
people
fun.
like it.
we're supposed to be talking about competition, so here we go.
We're supposed to.
Here we go.
Where should we start?
What about how?
How we
What
all,
is a competition?
Yeah, what is a competition? Good question, Kat. So,
Well, I think competitions is where you meet your best friends.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel
I can
like
cheer for them.
doing competitions really solidified our friendship.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Traveling and bonding
well,
over early mornings.
so to clarify for those people that don't know, a grooming competition is usually put on by there's like several businesses that put them on or people, but groomers all come together with their dogs. They groom the dogs in front of a bunch of judges. They're judged. Some people win, some people lose.
Most people lose.
Most people
Most people
lose.
lose.
But it's really fun. That's just like your most basic, like a grooming competition.
Yeah.
And usually
Well,
there's like classes and vendors and like
yeah.
different things.
and you're judged to usually a standard, right?
Yes.
For the standard of the dog most of the time, except for freestyle.
Yes.
I think
creative.
that's something that's so great about pet grooming and dog grooming in general is that we have this, right? Like there's no dentistry competition.
we
or
don't know that.
Is there?
Why do we
If there
always,
is-
why do we always
we
go back to
contemplated this.
dentistry?
If there is, message us and let us know because I'll be. But
Yeah,
I
does
mean,
somebody
it's so
want to
cool
compete on my teeth?
No,
It's
my
so-
teeth.
Free teeth whitening and cleaning? I'll take it.
Hey, you can do whatever you want to my teeth.
I always just thought it was so cool that the grooming industry has that, you know, where we could all kind of get together and have this competition and grow and enjoy each other's company.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. Well, so that's how we all like got as close as we did.
Yeah,
was
We were all on Team Feldspar.
Feldspar,
Team
yeah.
Feldspar,
We're
led
all
by Ann
alumni.
Martin.
Yeah.
And we would meet monthly and
Practice.
get our critiques. And it was actually really, really beneficial because, I mean, most people, when you compete, that maybe they compete like once a year and then after the competition, you get critique. And then you have to wait an entire year to
Right.
get another critique.
Yeah.
Where we
Right.
were getting our critiques monthly.
Yeah.
So I think that really,
I grew a lot.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, or my skills grew exponentially from that.
But before we were on Team Feldspar, you competed on your own before that, right?
Yeah, well,
Once.
I competed once at a small grooming competition in San Jose, and the judges were
Well, Anne was a judge, but then I think there was
Ann
a
and
couple.
Pina. Ann and Pino were the judges.
And there was like one other like international judge, I think.
Yeah.
Because that one, it was, well, so not all grooming competitions are like this, right? But this was like the first time this one was put on, and they did have an international judge. And so they decided to do international rules. And so thankfully, because we were mentored under Anne, you had already learned how to just hand scissor a dog instead of blocking it in with your clippers.
Yeah.
And they, right before the competition,
At the meeting.
at the meeting the night before, they threw everybody else for a loop, letting them know no clippers on the dogs. So everything had to be hand scissored.
But you can clip the feet and the face.
Well,
but
the feet and the face is different, yeah. But everybody had to hand scissor their bodies, no clippers. And so everybody was like, oh no.
yeah. Well, and then I won first place. It was a very small competition, though. And I
Yes.
won first place, and I got the bug from that.
Ronnie and I were at that show. It was called Silicon Valley Pet Event
Yeah, there you go.
in San Jose. October 2019. I don't remember that.
Yes.
Jeez.
And,
I remember because COVID was like shortly after.
Yeah. And we had met at I had seen you guys at a seminar, but I don't think we weren't like friends or anything.
No, yeah.
So when we were Ronnie and I were walking around, I was like, oh look, those are the cool kids I was telling you about from. And then we were there for your first placement. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And my biggest placement, you guys were there. Like, that was.
I actually wasn't there.
No, you were there.
No,
No,
he's
I wasn't.
saying that first one. He means and his biggest placement.
Oh, I
not
thought
that
you
they're
meant the
one in the
Silicon
same.
Valley.
Not that they're one in the same. Just that we've been for each other's like biggest.
Yes.
But yeah, so then.
Should we get into how competitions work?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, competitions can seem confusing and daunting. So hopefully we'll like dispel a little bit of that for everybody, because definitely that was something for us where we were like, oh my God, like we don't know how anything works, right? So first of all, you do have to sign up for the grooming competitions. Usually the competition entry, like if you sign up, you can get like reminders, or if you're paying attention online, they'll like post like, we're going to be opening on this day at this time. And
And you set 30 alarms.
yeah, and you set 5 million alarms, and you
Have your
like
friends
wait,
set
and you have
alarms.
your credit card beside you, and hopefully you get in. And so
Yes,
sign up can be a little bit stressful sometimes. Sometimes
think
you
we're
don't
always
make
sweating.
it in. Sometimes you do.
And I think this is probably mainly for like people who never are entry people, and I think those don't sell out quite as fast.
Entry, I feel like, is usually not as bad. Yeah. So
Unless it's freestyle.
unless
That's
it's
out.
freestyle,
Quick.
yeah. Freestyle and poodle, I feel like goes the quickest.
Well, I feel like people have the most access to those dogs.
yes,
So
absolutely.
if you want an easier time getting into a competition, a sporting dog or a hand strip
Wire.
dog,
Yeah.
you'll have an easier
Well,
time.
you should mention that in entry you don't need a hand strip.
Well, in sporting or wire, you can use clippers. It can be to a disadvantage, like if everybody else is using a hand strip or carded dog. But if you do a better job with your patterns than they do, then use your clippers.
Yeah, I think for
I've seen
entry,
somebody-
their main thing they're looking for is profile.
So, I mean, that brings us to our next point. There are 3 divisions to compete in. There's entry, intermediate, and open. Entry is obviously for your beginners, if you haven't competed before. Intermediate is usually somebody who's won like 3 first places, or if you have shown a dog in AKC, or I don't know if it has to be just AKC, but I think if you've shown dogs in conformation and finished a
Well,
championship.
luckily I have the rules right in front
All
of
right.
me. Recommended for groomers with intermediate styling skills or conformation dog show exhibitors and or certifiers and instructors with intermediate skills. So yeah, if you're showing intermediate.
With certifiers and instructors.
Yeah, so for like
Well-
if you're a certifier for organization or if you're an instructor at a grooming school, you
Right.
have to be an intermediate. So if you're
Because it does
teaching,
say an entry.
I find that very interesting because
Yeah.
that's like, to me, in my mind, before we ever started doing any education to anybody, I wanted to be open level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I find it very interesting that it's on there for intermediate.
And then you've got open. And open is eligible to anybody, but I wouldn't recommend going into open unless you have those specific accolades to put you there, because open is the big dogs and it is scary because everybody is so talented in open. It's kind of ridiculous how good everybody is.
And they're like just nitpicking.
well, I mean, you work your way up, right? So you
Right.
start an entry, then you move up once you get 3 first placements or a group placement, then you're into intermediate. So you're always competing around similarly
Similar
leveled
skills, yeah.
groomers.
Or if you finished a dog.
Or if you-
That's
Or
if
how
you
I
finished
moved
a
up.
dog.
Even though I had some placements, I didn't get first place placements. I moved up in intermediate because I finished my dog in AKC.
Well, I did the same thing.
Katie
I
too,
did
yep.
I did one show in entry, and I didn't even get any placements for that one. I just got best first timer in show, and I didn't even actually get a placement. And then I freaking finished my Scotty, and I had to move into intermediate, and so that was kind of like a kick in the pants.
Yeah, but every one of us has done a good amount of winning.
Well, yeah. Well, after that, I did get 3 first places, and I'm in open now. Actually, I got 4 technically, but one of them I wasn't competing against anyone, so it didn't count. Even though I did,
But you
get
did a
it.
great
But,
job.
to be fair though, Anne Francis was my judge for that one, and she was like, "I'm not gonna just give you first place. You have to do a good job." And she said, I almost got a group placement, so I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
So
She's a good judge.
she's a fantastic judge. We love her.
And
She's
you did amazing.
very talented. But I'm in open now. I haven't gotten any placements in open yet, but that's okay. Everybody's just so good in open.
It's very
Everybody's so good in open. It's like ridiculous.
Well, I like 1 and 1 and 1 in entry and intermediate. I think in 2 shows I went from entry to
Open.
open. So like I would just all I did was win, and then
Oh.
and then I
Win, win, win.
and then I got an
What?
open, and all I did was lose. So like,
Well, you
but
say
open,
that.
I've gotten
placements.
I've gotten
You
plenty of
have
placements in
gotten
open, but
placements.
like everybody there is at the top of their game,
Yes.
and it's like a
tiny
huge badge of
details.
honor just being in open.
It's like the tiniest little things can just knock you. And so like your attention to detail has to be on
Like
par.
literal hair.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could,
Like,
a little
honestly, the
hair
biggest-
could just send you out.
Like the biggest moment of my life was at a grooming competition when I got a.
One of the big
One of the
ones.
biggest. Well, number 1 is marrying my wife, and number 2 is when my kids were born.
Okay, so number 3 is
Number 3 was at a grooming competition. I think it was Pasadena,
I think it was Pasadena.
and
From
I
Mexico
got in
West.
first place in all
You
of
were
the
in
purebred
intermediate still.
from intermediate, and I'm listening to the groups, and I'm just like waiting for groups, and then they say in group 1 is Nathan Austin, and everybody. So all my friends were here. Everyone here was there,
Oh my God, yeah.
and more people.
it was
So
electric.
everybody's screaming, and I immediately just start crying because I didn't. I couldn't.
crying
believe
makes
it.
you gay.
So yeah,
Damn it.
that's like so. I'm crying, and I'm like, this is so, fucking so
Surreal.
cool, surreal. And I get up on stage, and I remember walking by all the open competitors and thinking like, I can't believe I just like placed over these people. You know, it's unbelievable.
Well, and everybody was so nice too.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Good job, your dog looks
And then I
great."
went in the back and like cried, and I called my mentor in Cary Blues, who's Nancy
Nancy
Hahn,
Hahn.
and I cried on the phone talking to her. It was like such a big deal to me. Like I'll never have a high like that at a grooming
I
competition.
think you'll get a high like that again. But that was like the first big one.
Yeah.
And that was like such a nice weekend too, because you won best all around groomer, because you had 3 first places and 2 group placements, because you also placed in Poodle, you got a group 2.
And it really
From
made
intermediate.
it made grooming competitions seem like, or the people that are at the top of grooming competitions, it made them human.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember thinking like,
I'll never get that good. They're so incredible.
yeah, but it humanized. It made me think like, oh, it's doable.
Well, before you start competing, it's super intimidating, and you think that all these people are just that they're mean and they're they're not willing to help and that kind of thing. And then
Sure.
once you're in it and you see how the sausage is made, we're all just humans, and we're
Yeah.
all just dog groomers, and we're all just doing the same thing. And it's
Right.
everyone's friendly. Well, not everybody is friendly.
Yeah.
That's
but
true.
most people are friendly.
Most
people
people
are
are
very
friendly.
helpful.
And
I love.
Juan, though, you're quite the competitor
Oh, yeah,
too.
you
Like
are,
every
too.
time you compete, you win.
Yeah.
I
So-
do. Well, I place.
You place, yeah.
Your place.
So it's
Well, that's
like
winning.
I know you're not saying so, but you're a winner, dude.
Totally.
Thank you. Yeah,
100%.
You're a wiener.
I'm a wiener. I competed 3 times, and I've placed the 3
3
times.
times,
Yeah.
yeah.
Third the first time, and then second, and then first.
See,
Yeah.
you're just moving up.
I'm
See,
moving
now
on
you
up.
gotta
Moving on up.
Yeah.
keep doing it.
But I don't know, like Nathan was saying with his group placements were really, really electric. My first placement at Super Zoo was
That's a
really
big one.
important to me because it was a really big class.
Yeah.
Huge.
And my family was there. My mom and my dad, my sister, her girlfriend, my cousins were there. So like, and then you guys were all there, so having that first placement with everyone there was just, I started crying. Ronnie was crying.
yeah.
There's videos of him when he was recording. He was like, holding,
So sweet.
holding up
Well,
the
it's
thing.
so like vindicating. You work
Yeah.
so hard, and
Yeah.
it like show it at that moment. You're,
Yeah. So then that's why I was like, okay, maybe I can't top this. So I'm gonna just take a little break, and then I'll compete in a few years. And when I come back, I'm still gonna be an entry, okay? Because I only have 1 first placement in entry, so I'm gonna go back to entry.
Nice.
And
I'm
you'll
gonna-
rule it, and then
I'll
you'll
work up.
Yep. You're
Well,
just gonna
Yeah.
get out of it real quickly.
So,
But
for
I feel
those.
bad for people that got to compete next to you, though, right? Because you're gonna swamp them.
2025, watch out.
So I think a lot of people, right, they just don't even know what to expect at a competition, right?
Yeah.
So usually, I don't know how other people do it, but we always book a hotel nearby. Sometimes there's a host hotel. That's usually like the smartest choice. Sometimes they have dog holding areas, so you can like bring your kennels and the dogs can stay in that area, or they can stay in your room with you. They usually have a prep area, but each show has somewhat of a different prep area, so it kind of depends. Some shows are better than others, but usually they do have like a place for you to bathe your dog and dry your dog. But it's first come, first serve for the most part, right? Mm-hmm. There are ones that are somewhat different. Like they do have some competitions where you can sign up for your tub ahead of time. Not everybody always follows the rules.
Respect the times.
I think if you're new or first time too, the last thing you want to do is like get all this stuff and get there and you don't get up early enough.
Yes.
Yes. You have to be really careful.
You got to get up early.
There's often so many competitors and only a little amount of prep space. Yeah. And so you don't want to be like, I got to get in there and like, oh no. And then like, what are you going to do? Right. Like there's only so many options.
Are there any shows that you guys have been, because you go to quite a few shows now, are there any shows that you are like, oh, I need to bring my own prep equipment and like, or do you always rely on the setup there?
It depends.
It kind of depends because we're still new to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
We have been to some of the bigger ones, but they're like, we're going to a few this year that are smaller, that I think their prep areas are smaller. So in that case, like I do think it's smart to bring stuff, even if you don't use it in the end.
Yeah.
Just in case. Like there's like tubs you can buy, like collapsible tubs that you can buy to put in your shower so you can like prop your dogs up and wash them, or bringing your own dryers sometimes if you can. But it can be really hard.
Usually we'll look
especially
at
if you're
people.
flying.
Yeah, usually we'll look at people that have been to those shows before, and we'll talk to them. We'll ask
what's
them
the
like,
setup
what they think.
Yeah,
Because are we going to need to bring stuff or not?
It can be that, I would say, is probably one of the more complicated things, because you want everything to be as fresh as you can for the competition. And that is like my worst nightmare, that I won't get my dogs prepped in time, that I won't get them bathed, that I won't get them dried in time. And I wish I could be like unbothered by it. Like we've talked about it before. I feel like Lindsay has got it down.
Yeah.
She can like come in, have her dogs like prepped and like ready right before. And I don't like, she's so unbothered by it. And I'm like, I got to get there 5 hours early. What if I don't get in the tub?
Well, she's been doing it for what, like 15 years now?
Yeah. So she's got it down.
I
want to be that.
recommend anybody to do it.
No. But that's what I mean. I want to get to a place where I can be that unbothered.
Yeah.
Like I really do.
Be early. I'm always sitting there with my dog ready to go, but then I'm like, you can't.
Yeah, now you can't move for the next 2 hours because I prepped you so early.
Well, good thing you do it early, because if someone gets ketchup on your white poodle, you have enough time to watch it again.
But I didn't have enough time because the ketchup incident happened right before the competition.
So for competitions,
scissor it right off.
Yeah.
Just scissor it off, yeah. So for competitions, usually they do have like a check-in time. So you get there, you check in. Sometimes they have like a table assigned to you. Sometimes they don't. The judge will come and like go over your dog, ask you if there's like anything you need to tell them about your dog. Sometimes they'll ask like if you own the dog, or if you've done the dog before, or if it's if you just met the dog. Sometimes I don't know if they take that into account or not, but I think sometimes they do.
I think it
just
judge
depends.
by judge.
Yeah, and
we also keep like notes for the judges, like what they like. Certain judges like certain things. They have like preferences. And whenever we get a new judge,
or if we get a
critique,
make notes about the critique. That way we know like that's something we need to fix and work on for next time. Because I do think that judges like when you've made note of it and you do a better job the next time, then they're like, I remember I told you to fix that.
Always wait for your critique.
When they're giving you critiques, how do you decipher between if it's like a stylized thing that they're suggesting versus like an actual, like across the board?
So that goes into notes. For me, that goes in the notes, because I have had judges tell me conflicting things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen that often, because most of the judges, I think, are very well educated. But it's very hard to expect somebody to know all the fine details in all these different breeds.
Well, and like we've said before, right? Things change, so sometimes it is just a preference thing. So I do make note of it. Sometimes if it's something that I'm like, I've never heard that before, then I'll reach out to like a few other people and get their opinions on it. But I still make note of it anyway, just so that next time I compete under that judge, I can, maybe change the way I do it for that one. It kind of depends. But then some people will say, don't do that. Do it how you want it or how you're taught, and don't vary based on the judge. So it kind of just, it depends. You got to do what makes you feel comfortable.
Because exactly. There's different styles, and like everybody interprets the standard differently, and they're doing what they're taught, and they're teaching what they were taught. So,
and going back to it, right? So like after your judge prejudges you, then like usually the competition starts, right? And there's different times based off of like different dogs, so you'll know how long you have. And I would say that was something that was daunting to me, though, was like grooming in front of a crowd, because people are watching you, the judges are watching you, and that, I thought it was going to be a lot scarier. Same. But once you kind of get into it, you're like, I do this all the time. I'm just grooming. And everybody else just kind of fades away. It was nice. I feel like our first couple competitions, since we were all in entry, we were all around each other, and we'd like make jokes and like laugh.
Oh yeah. If you could have a friend with you, that would make
it made it much less scary and more fun.
Yeah. I think about, if I didn't have you all, then I wouldn't be doing this. But I don't want people to feel that way if they don't have a support system, right? If you need a cheering squad or something,
we got you.
Yeah, we got you. Just
know.
ask.
I like it a lot when somebody comes up to me and is like, "I'm new and this is my first competition." I always root for them.
Yeah,
I'm always if they get a placement, I'm always screaming for them because like it just brings me a lot of joy,
Yeah, it's great.
Well, and some people just don't have that, but
it takes a lot of bravery to get up there and to sign up, show up, do it. So like placement or not, like everybody who's doing it, super proud of you guys, because it's not easy. It takes a lot of skill and bravery, and like, so kudos to everybody who's trying to better themselves and trying to compete, because like you guys are awesome.
And then like after you start competing, you do your certain amount of time. Each dog has a certain amount of time, and you wait till the end of your time, and then the judges go over all the dogs. And usually
that to me is the worst.
And usually there's different judges for
for
different group, right? So entry, there'll be an entry level judge and a intermediate judge and an open judge.
I'm like, they're like going over your dog, and then you start seeing all this stuff that you didn't see
that they comb
and you're
out.
like, no. And then you have to stand there and present your dog and like, please, please, please say I did good enough.
Or you see, what the worst part for me is when you're sitting there waiting to be judged and you see some hairs out of place.
Oh my God.
Like,
you're
or
just
you
like,
see something like a couple of hairs.
You're
on
like,
the
please
foot.
don't notice. Please
And then
don't notice.
Yeah, you're like,
That's when you turn
angle.
it into hand stripping class.
You hand strip the Bichon real quick.
but if
I've
it's
never done that.
I was going to say, we should potentially cut that out. I want judges to be like extra watching Nathan.
You know what? If every open level competitor has maybe pulled a little hair here and there,
I've never done that.
I did it. There was like one hair on the tuck up, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." But I was on my side, not the side to the audience. I was just like,
But
yeah,
go ahead.
I also think, judges in different groups too, or in different categories, are looking for different things.
Yes.
Or like entry level, they're looking for profile.
Or I think they should be, yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily looking for like the perfectest scissor work.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to be the most perfect finish work, but that at least to me that would make the most sense, because like profile to me comes before scissor work. Scissor work can be learned, but profile is like you got to have the eye.
And then intermediate, they're looking for a little bit better, right? They
a
want
little bit
that
better
profile
a little bit better scissor work.
And then in open, they're just looking for anything to knock you out.
Yeah.
They're looking for perfection.
Yeah, they're literally looking for things. They're
Everybody's
looking for
so
things
good.
to get you out. Yeah. And it sucks because they find them.
Yeah.
It sucks when they find. Well, they have to though, right? Because like if 17 people are competing, but only 3 people can get a placement, so like they have to just look for all the little things that are going to knock you out.
well, and open is for GroomTeam.
Oh,
Yes.
good
Right?
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Merch, GroomTeam.
GroomTeam. Yeah. So for those people that don't know, every year there's a new GroomTeam, and so it's the top 10 competitors that gain the most points throughout the year. So each time you're competing in open, depending on how many competitors there are, you're gaining points. and if you get a placement. And so at the end of the year, the top 10 pointed groomers are on GroomTeam for the next year. So not all grooming competitions are GroomTeam sanctioned, but if you go on the GroomTeam page, like if that's something you're interested in, then it'll tell you what shows are sanctioned, and you can go to those shows and compete in open for points.
And I actually think that's like the tops. Like if somebody's like a GroomTeam member, that's
The creme of the crop.
that's the top. So that's like to me in my mind the most badass thing you can do. Like, oh, I'm a GroomTeam member.
I'm a GroomTeam
Or even if I'm a
member.
former GroomTeam member, it's like, wow, you know your shit and you worked your ass off.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
always find it so impressive. People be like, oh, you're a master groomer. Like to me, like, oh, you're a GroomTeam member. Whoa, shit.
Yeah.
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 Very cool.
But that's
yeah.
the goal for me this year. That's the goal, is to get on GroomTeam. Like I've
So
been pretty close
hopefully-
twice.
Hopefully, knock on paper.
Knock on a wooden
Well, and then
material.
there's also travel team, and so I believe travel team usually goes in 2-year intervals. I think because of COVID, it had gotten like somewhat thrown off. So I mean, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, in each of the different categories in sporting, all other purebred, poodle, and wire, whoever has the most points in each category per year, it still ends at the end of the year, but out of a 2-year span, whoever had the highest amount of points is on the travel team. So it's only
There's
four,
a
one
top
person
four.
for each category. So like I believe the travel team points just ended, I believe. And so to my knowledge, it's Lindsay Dickin again, Michelle Breen, Mackenzie Murphy, and Gracia.
I think that's a gold medal winning team.
Yeah.
I think so
sure.
too. I think so too. So like
Fingers crossed for GroomTeam.
and knock on paper. But so, and then they get to travel, right? So they get to travel internationally.
The world.
And to World
to go there
Groom,
someday.
Groom World,
Groomania.
World Groomania.
Groomania.
And like I think last time they had it in Belgium, like so cool. They do singles as well, like single competitions. But the biggest draw, right, is the team competition. So they're competing as a team in their individual categories to hopefully bring home the gold for America. Super cool. Definitely like a someday goal.
The only sports I watch.
Yeah, the only sports.
And-
No, I know. I like the
I watch
Olympics.
dog
Oh,
I like the
gymnastics.
And like
Okay.
America, we usually do pretty well. We
Yeah.
usually do really well at Worlds.
We usually
Yeah.
do pretty well. So hopefully
We'll be
the
rooting
next
you
one.
guys on.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
bring you guys
Whoop,
on.
whoop.
Maybe we'll come this time just to check it out, just to support America.
America.
It's like the week after Hershey, isn't it?
Is it? Oh God.
I
Maybe
can't
not.
afford
It was last year
Maybe not.
or 2 years ago.
Yeah. So also generally at your competitions, there's trade shows that go along with it. So there's usually like a lot of vendors selling cool stuff. So it's nice because you get to see like a lot of new products. And they usually have really awesome discounts. And so you get to like actually go see this stuff in person instead of just ordering it online, and you can like feel it and see it
Yeah,
or
if you-
smell it.
If you've
And-
never been to a trade show, go to a trade show because
Yes.
it is the bee's knees.
And there's often a lot of classes as well, which is great because like even if you're not ready to compete, you can kind of go and see the setup.
yeah, and we'll
look
be
at
actually
all the
teaching at a lot
vendors.
of classes this year.
Yep. And then
Me
you
and,
can go
me and my
watch
wife.
you can go watch teachings and learn.
Well, you can watch people compete.
You can
and
watch
if that's
people
something you're
compete.
interested in, you could
You can
could
see the
them
setup
and-
area, see if that's something you're interested in.
And also another thing you can see is us.
is us.
We will
and
be
cheer
there.
for us.
Yeah, we're going to a lot of the shows this year. So if you were curious if we're going to be at one, you could just DM us and we'll let you know if we'll be at that particular show.
So hopefully we'll see you there.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see you there.
So if we missed anything, this is like something we talk about all the time and we know mostly everything. So it could be a little dull sometimes talking about it. But if you have any questions pertaining to grooming competitions, let us know. You know, we want to help you get there. We want to help you get dogs or, you know, just compete
Do what
in
we
general.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll do another episode too where we get more into the nitty gritty and we have some stories, I'm sure, and
Yeah, so send your questions in for that, and we
yeah.
can discuss those in
Or
that
if
episode.
you have a funny story that you can recall about us at a competition or trade show,
Oh,
send
yes.
them in.
Send us your funny
Send
stories.
us your funny stories.
Or drama. Send us your competition drama.
Oh yeah,
too.
there's always drama.
There's
always good for
Tell
drama.
us your
Something-
drama.
Something that you may not know about us is we're a big fan of the tea.
Yes, we are a big fan of the tea.
I'm a fan of knowing the tea.
Yeah,
Yes.
knowing the
I don't
tea.
know
not
about
being
being
part of it.
involved.
Well, no,
in
no,
the
no.
drama.
Yeah, nobody wants to be involved.
I
in
love
the
to be
tea.
informed, though.
We just want to know.
We're like a
about the
sponge.
tea.
We absorb the tea, but then
The
we
more
hold
you
on
know.
to it.
Yeah.
We hold on to the tea. We don't
What
let
if
it
they
back
ring us
go,
out?
you know?
Yeah, so make sure you send us all of it.
All the tea.
All of it. All right, guys. Well, that was this episode of Another Grooming Podcast. Thank you so much for joining, listening, watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.